teaching would be changing forward. So, since the focus is more on technology, we would start with Mr. Mehra. Having seen engineering education and higher technical education from closer quarters, and particularly from a technology perspective, what is your view regarding that, and how technology is actually transforming the space of engineering education?
So, first of all, thank you, Raghav, and I would just like to take a step back. I think you had a very interesting panel discussion in your earlier session, and I guess the focus was to provide students a platform to understand why they should get into engineering, and what would be the benefits of an engineer, what is the landscape for engineering across India. So I have a small anecdote before I jump to his question. When I joined engineering, we had a very senior eminent professor from our college come in, and he gave us an anagram of engineering. He said, if you take the word engineers and you just jumble it around, that's what an anagram is, you'll see 2 or 3 key words which come out of it. The first word is re-seeing. If you take the letters and you'll see it comes as re-seeing. So as an engineer, you're expected to see or delve into what is more within that same thing. The second thing you will see is, if you jumble the words, the word arises is called energize. So an engineer specifically energizes the entire community around him. And if you go on and take smaller letters, you'll see things which come out from as small as green, which is the new in thing which is happening, to a genie. A genie in a bottle, you may have heard, but an engineer is as good as a genie. Or as simple as sine, S-I-N-E, which an electronics engineer may be doing, or rings, which a mechanical engineer may be doing. So we found that concept very, very interesting and said, wow, this is what engineering is about. And we were very passionate to join engineering, though we were kind of clueless what stream we should do, what is in store for us. So the journey began, and today we are all engineers, and I'm sitting with an eminent engineer today. So I'm very honored to be with him. Coming to the question that Raghav posed in terms of where technology is being seen in the landscape for engineering, you'll see if you take a couple of steps back, majority of the focus of the technical institutions was specifically in laying down the infrastructure. So infrastructure was specifically where you had the hardware, software come into the institution. The second part was more in terms of capacity building. Now when you have the infrastructure in place, how do you ensure that the teachers and the faculty who are in these institutes are capable of utilizing them? The third phase, which is kind of running right now, and that's where I would put India, is exploring what the faculty can do exactly with that technology. Because till date, it was primarily an interaction, a two-way interaction. But now the focus has been where majority of the good institutions are trying to upload their assignments, the lectures that they're giving, and students are giving their feedback on that. So the social media also comes into play. The aspect that one needs to be kind of concerned about is what Raghav talked specifically is, where is the infrastructure in the tier 2, tier 3 towns? The good part to answer you about that is a project called NME-ICT, the National Mission on Education through ICT. This is a project which has been churned out by MHRD, which is our Ministry of Education. And they have a budget, extremely huge budget, if I know it's almost about $4 billion per year, where they are interconnecting all the institutions. So we have somewhere about 559 universities and about 33k colleges. So all these universities and colleges are getting connected on the NKN pipe, which is the National Knowledge Network. Once that happens, almost 50% has already happened. And when the remaining 50% get connected, that's when the fun begins. And you'll see the kind of collaboration and communication that happens within these institutions. India has always pushed back, saying that the research and innovation does not happen much. And I think Sir sitting out here is the expert who can actually talk about that. But you will see that once the pipe is in place, you will see a lot of the research coming through, which we did not see in the earlier avatars.